All right, Netflix out with its latest quarterly earnings report, so fitting to look back at a major turning point for the company back in 2007. It was on this day back then when the company posted the highest first quarter profit in its thin 8-year history. Investors, they weren't impressed. Similar to today, the stock plunged more than 9%, largely because the report also showed Netflix had trouble attracting and retaining subscribers amid stiffer competition from Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster. The brick and mortar rental chain was going all in on a Netflix killer called Total Access that let customers order DVDs by mail, but then return them to the physical stores. Now, obviously, we know who won that battle. The earnings report came just 3 months after Netflix had quietly debuted its Watch Now video-on-demand service, which let members view about 18 hours a month of movies over the internet. It was a prescient online pivot that would eventually run Blockbuster out of business and would eventually replace Netflix's own mail-order DVD service altogether. Remember Quickster? Yeah. No one does. But it wasn't the first time or the last investors would become unsettled about a competitive threat to the company. Investors bailed on the stock in 2003 when Walmart entered the online DVD business, but rushed back in a year later when Walmart abandoned the costly effort. Then there was the database corruption incident in 2007, the missteps in international expansion, the billions of dollars in cash burn to create fresh content after launching original programming in 2011. The groundswell of streaming competitors over the past 4 years from the likes of Disney and HBO, also a factor. Then there was the writer strike, then the actor strike, and well, you get the idea. Through it all, Netflix has largely managed to get the last laugh. Today, it boasts about 270 million paid subscribers and rakes in more than $30 billion in revenue a year. That's a long way away from April 18, 2007, when it boasted just 7 million subscribers. You were close, Scarlett. There are still big challenges ahead, though. The Hollywood economic model remains broken. There is a slower adoption of connected TVs and consumer behavior tilting away from scripted content and more toward live events and video games. Now, Netflix has begun to invest in both. It just bought exclusive rights to World Wrestling Entertainment programs. It's dabbled with live comedy specials, and it plans to air a boxing match in July between Mike Tyson and YouTuber Jake Paul. As for video games, the company is churning out content from its own intellectual property, such as from Stranger Things and The Witcher, but it's also licensing popular titles like Grand Theft Auto. Now, Netflix has yet to disclose hard numbers on how many people play their games, but CFO Spencer Newman, speaking last month at a Morgan Stanley investment conference, cited at least 90 games added to the service over the past 2 years and as many as 90 more that are in development. He also said engagement for those titles, in his word, tripled last year as well.